What's up, everybody? Welcome to DFS by the Numbers. This is my betting breakdown for UFC 254, and what a card we have this weekend. Justin Gaichi, Habib Nurmagomedov, a fight I've been looking forward to for a very, very long time. In this video, we're going to talk strictly betting, nothing else. I'm not going to go into much breakdowns. I did post a breakdown on Tuesday, and go check out my live stream on Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Lots of good stuff on there, talking about the weigh-ins, digging into the matchups, talking about all my bets as well. But in this video, strictly betting, nothing else. It kind of feels weird doing this on a Friday, used to doing these early Saturday morning. It's been a hectic week for me, trying to get everything in pretty much a day earlier than usual. So I'm ready for this week. I've put in all the work. I'm ready to go, have my bets ready. We'll talk about them right now, and we'll start with the first fight of the night. Joe Alvarez versus Alexander Yakolov. I do want to mention that Alvarez did miss weight by a couple pounds there, and he didn't look awful. I think, if anything, this weight miss will probably benefit him. I mean, he'll be the bigger fighter in there. He's big, to begin with, and that extra pounds could definitely help him here. I like Alvarez to get it done. I don't love the minus 160. The line has came down a ton. I'm not so sure why, but I do like Alvarez to get it done. I'm not going to be betting anything on this first fight. If anything, Alvarez by submission plus 215. He's finished 88% of his wins by submission, 12% by knockout. If anything, Alvarez inside the distance at plus 130 could be a decent option. And Yakolov is also somebody that has been submitted 4 times. I know he hasn't been submitted in a while, but still submitted 4 times regardless, and Alvarez is legit on the mat. He's going to be the bigger fighter. I don't mind the Alvarez by submission prop at plus 215 if you're willing to take a shot. Other than that, big pass for me. I see a lot of people taking the dog shot on Yakolov. I don't see it. I think Alvarez is the better fighter. We do see him improving. He's the much younger fighter. His striking actually looked really good in his last fight. Well, he looked improved in his last fight against Joe Duffy. But yeah, I think it's going to be a good fight. Give me Alvarez to get it done. No bet for me. Casey Kenny, Nathaniel Wood, minus 170. Another instance where I like the fighter. I don't like the line. I see a lot of people taking a shot on Wood, and I don't blame you by the slightest. I think this should be a pick'em fight. I would not be surprised if it went to either guy here. I can see this being a very, very close decision here. I don't want to lay minus 170 on Casey Kenny. I don't want to parlay it. Casey Kenny inside the distance at plus 335 is interesting. So Nathaniel Wood has been rocked a bunch of times. He's been knocked out twice. He's been submitted twice as well. Durability is a big question, and Casey Kenny's not much of a finisher himself, only a 46% finish rate, but he does have a decent amount of power, very, very good on the ground. Maybe he rocks and Nathaniel Wood submits him, something like that. Maybe they do go to the mat. Maybe Kenny's able to lock up a submission. So maybe plus 564 submission is not a bad look for Kenny, but this is going to be a pass for me. Like I said, I don't hate anybody taking the shot on Wood at a decent dog price there, because I do think this is more towards a 50-50 fight. My lean is Kenny. I think the striking goes to Wood, but it's very close. I think that the ground game goes to Kenny as well, so I take that ground game into consideration there. I think Kenny could get takedowns, and I think he's going to win a close decision, but I don't want to lay minus 170 in what should be a close fight. Miranda Maverick versus Lyanna Jojua. I like Maverick a lot here. She looked pretty solid at the weigh-ins here. And just watching tape on Jojua, watching her get dominated by Sarah Moras. I mean, I know she got that submission against Belbita her last fight, and I think people are looking into that a little bit too much. I mean, Belbita is somebody that got submitted like 3 or 4 times prior to that. Maverick is the real deal here. I do expect her to get it done. I'm fairly confident in it. She's a parlay piece for me. I know the price is getting a little bit crazy, but it looks like it's coming down a little bit. I see a lot of love for Jojua. I don't know if it's because she's Georgian and the Georgians have been on a run. I don't know if it's because she does have that armbar from guard path to victory. But if you're telling me her only path to victory is her being Georgian and an armbar from guard, I mean, come on. That's not really a good argument. I like Maverick here. I think she's the better fighter everywhere the fight goes. I think she's the better striker. I think she's better on the mat, and she's been able to grapple with decent competition. And outside of an armbar from guard, I don't see Jojua getting it done. I mean, Maverick has never been submitted. Haven't seen her put in all that many bad spots. And she's very solid on the mat as well. So give me Maverick to get it done, probably by some type of finish. I don't hate the minus 120. She has finished 67% of her wins. And it looks like Jojua is someone who definitely slows down as the fight goes on. She's someone who looks like she quits as well. She quit in that Sarah Moras fight. Give me Maverick here all day. Very confident in that pick. Jung versus Cm Alvey, minus 315 for Jung. I think the line's coming down a little bit as well. I like Jung as well as a parlay piece. I'm fairly confident in it. It's more of a fade on Cm Alvey. Alvey's lost his last 4 fights. He's very, very low output. He just looks so slow, so awful. And Jung's actually a fairly good fighter. I think this is a really bad stylistic matchup for Cm Alvey here. Jung, being the younger fighter, the more hungrier fighter, has finished 92% of his wins, 77% by knockout, 15% by submission, and he throws double the output of Cm Alvey. Cm Alvey just does not let it go, and Jung has showed a very good chin. I'm really struggling to find a path to victory for Cm Alvey. I really like Jung as a parlay piece. Inside the distance for Jung plus 100 isn't a bad look. I mean, Alvey is very durable. He has been knocked out 3 times in a bunch of fights, but probably just going to stay away from the props. I'm going to put Jung in a parlay. Shafka Rakmanov versus Alex Oliveira. I like Rakmanov to get it done. I am picking him to win. I did bet him, but I bet him at plus 135. So the line has completely flipped, and if you have not bet it yet, I would probably stay away from the minus 120. I do think this should be closer to a pick'em, and the line is indicating that the line movement is, and actually, Rakhmanov's a favorite now. So I did get him at plus 135. At this point, probably stay away. I think there still could be a little bit of value, but like I said, I think the plus money shot on the fighter was the way to go. And as for the matchup goes, Oliveira did miss weight. I don't know if that could hurt him or benefit him here. He's someone who does slow down as the fight goes on. He's someone who also throws very, very low output. Rakhmanov is the complete different. He's the complete opposite. He's someone who, can go into the later rounds. We've seen him get finishes in that second and that third round, which I do like to see. He's going to throw more output. He's the younger fighter, the hungrier fighter, undefeated. Has fought in a good organization, has fought solid competition. This is going to be the toughest task of his career, but I'm just not sold on Alex Oliveira. I never have been. He's someone who's been submitted 3 times. He's been knocked out. I think Rakhmanov can probably get him out of here. Rakhmanov inside the distance plus 230, by knockout plus 375. I do like that underdog shot I had on him though, but I'm expecting him to win inside the distance. Something that really interests me here, and that is the fight does not go to decision line, minus 125. I think there's some really good value on that. Obviously, Rakhmanov has never went to decision, and Oliveira is a solid finisher. 78% of his wins have come by finish. He has been finished 4 times. He's been finished in half of his losses. And Rakhmanov is someone who, has been rocked before. We've seen him hurt. Maybe Oliveira is able to put him away. And, Rakhmanov is someone who can definitely put Oliveira away, in my opinion. So, yeah, minus 125. It seems like a gift there. I have not bet that. But if I was to, look for something else on this fight, I think that would be the way to go. But give me my plus 135 bet on Rakhmanov. Staphon Shrew versus Tai Tui Vasa. I've been eyeing this bet all week. I've been eyeing Tai Tui Vasa. It just seems like, man, it's not something you really want to lay your money on. But I did put a small little bet on Tai Tui Vasa. I have 0.25 units on Tui Vasa in round 1. I think if it gets out of the round 1, Tai Tui Vasa is not going to win. I mean, he has a very, very bad gas tank. He's someone who comes out for the kill in round 1. If it goes to round 2, he's not going to lose. He's not going to win. Maybe a good live betting situation if Tai Tui Vasa does win that first round coming out hot. I mean, I don't think he has the gas to keep going. I think Shrew's probably going to end up winning a decision and winning those next 2 rounds, or even finishing Tai Tui Vasa. And of course, if Shrew's able to get the fight to the mat, he is very live for his submission. Shrew by submission plus 300. Shrew by decision plus 360 is not a bad look if you are on the Shrew side, but give me Tai Tui Vasa. Like I said, round 1, I'm taking a small shot at plus 400 odds. I like that line quite a bit. So hopefully it gets it done inside the distance round 1 there. Magomed Ankalaev minus 305. Ion Kudalaba plus 275. Man, I mean, I like Ankalaev here. Kudalaba looks in very, very good shape. He's someone who typically does slow down as the fight goes on. And Ankalaev basically is going to have to survive that early storm of Kudalaba. If he does, it's his fight to lose. But yeah, I don't love the minus 305 for Ankalaev. I do think he gets it done, but don't hate anybody taking a shot at that plus 275 for Kudalaba. Maybe look at the first round prop for Kudalaba as well. Kudalaba inside the distance plus 345 is not a bad look, because if he does win, it's going to be early. It's going to be by a finish. He's not going to go out there and win a decision. But ultimately, this is going to be a big pass for me. Maybe put Ankalaev in a Hail Mary parlay, but other than that, I really want nothing to do with this fight. Lauren Murphy versus Aliyah Shakarova. And, I mean, I like Lauren Murphy here. I don't know much about the opponent. She hasn't fought the best level of competition. She looks like a solid wrestler. I've seen her pick up her opponents and slam them. Solid hands as well, solid hand speed. I think she could be maybe the faster fighter, but Murphy's going to land the harder shots and by a decent margin. And I think the experience gap of Murphy and Shakarova is very, very wide here. I think Murphy is a way more experienced fighter. I like Murphy to get it done. I actually don't hate her as a parlay piece at minus 195. I think she is the better fighter. But there are some question marks of Shakarova, so I'm probably not going to lay that minus 175 there. But I do have Lauren Murphy by KO, and I got it at plus 600 on my book. I see it there at plus 785 out there on some books as well. So Lauren Murphy, she's finished 62% of her wins by knockout. She has 2 knockout wins in the UFC as well. And Shakarova could be, some bum coming in here. I mean, she hasn't fought the best level of competition. I don't think she's a bum per se, but I mean, Murphy does hit hard. She was able to rock Roxanne Modafferi, her last fight, almost knock out Roxanne, someone who's very, very durable. And I'm going to take the small stab on Lauren Murphy by KO. I have half of a unit on it at plus 600. Like I said, there's like plus 800 out there, so I think that's a good investment there. Low risk, high reward. I think there's a decent shot Lauren Murphy gets it done inside the distance here. Phil Haas versus Jacob Malcoon. Another instance where we don't know much about the opponent. I mean, Malcoon has 4 fights. I was only able to see a couple fights. He looks solid. He looks like he has some technical striking. It's just, I think Haas is going to get it done here, and Haas is someone who gets it done. He gets it done early. I mean, I think most of his wins come inside that first round. 100% finish rate, 75% by knockout, 25% by submission. He's someone who comes in there and tries to get it done early. If he does not get it done early, I think Malcoon's going to be very live. Phil Haas does slow down. His gas tank is very questionable. I don't see Haas going out there, and I'd be kind of surprised if he did win a decision. I mean, I don't know if his gas tank could hold up for 15 minutes with the amount of output he puts out. He's has some decent wrestling as well. I think he can go to here, but give me Phil Haas. Don't hate him as a parlay piece. I see a lot of people taking shots on Malcoon. I don't understand that. I mean, there's not much we know about this guy. Only 4 fights. Give me Haas here, and I actually have a bet on him. I put 1.1 units on Haas inside the distance at minus 110. I think there's a lot of value on that line because if Haas wins, it's going to most likely be inside the distance. All of his fights won have finished inside the distance, and you're taking a minus 240 favorite fighter, and you're turning that into minus 110 because I do think that's his path to victory. I'm getting it done probably in that first round if he does. I like Haas quite a bit, and I do like that line of minus 110 inside the distance. Next, we got Alexander Volkov versus Walt Harris. Interesting stuff here. I mean, Walt Harris looked really good on the scales, and Volkov came in the heaviest he has ever been in his career at the max limit of 265 pounds, which really concerns me because Volkov is someone who does like to use his speed. He's a technical striker, and I don't necessarily like that move. I mean, it really concerns me. I do think, Volkov is one of my more confident picks. I do think he's a solid parlay piece as well, but man, it does kind of scare me seeing him come in at 265 pounds. If Walt Harris wins, it's probably early. It's probably in that first round. Maybe take a look at that first round prop. Walt Harris by KO plus 250 if you want to take a small shot on that. But I do think Volkov is the better fighter. And I did take a shot at the under 2.5 rounds. And I'll tell you why. Walt Harris is going to come out here trying to get the finish. If Walt Harris does win, it's going to be in the first round. And I also think Volkov can get a finish as well because Walt Harris is going to slow down. And Volkov, adding that extra weight, I think he can bring in some extra power as well. And he's actually not a bad finisher. 75% finish rate, 65% won by knockout. And it's not often you see 2 heavy-hitting heavyweights with an under set at 2.5. So usually they set that at 1.5 here. We're getting 2.5 here, an extra round. I like it quite a bit. Minus 130. I do have 1.3 units on that minus 130 under 2.5 round prop there. So I do think either Harris gets it done early or Volkov can even get it done early here, but Volkov most likely could get it done in that second, third round as well. So yeah, give me Volkov here for the win. Like I said, I think it's a fine parlay piece, but just seeing him on the skills, kind of concerns me a little bit. Jared Cannonier versus Robert Whittaker, a tough fight to call. This is the hardest fight to call, on the whole card, in my opinion. I can't bet either side here. I think Whittaker is the better fighter. I think he's better pretty much everywhere outside of the durability, outside of the power, and really only one shot from Cannonier is all it takes. Like I said, I'm struggling to pick a winner here. Not going to bet it. I see a lot of people very confident on either side. I don't see how that's possible. I mean, I can see Whittaker winning this fight up until Cannonier lands a bomb, and that's very possible. Cannonier by knockout plus 180. Not a bad look. Fight doesn't go to decision, minus 140. Don't love it. If I can see Whittaker winning a decision, plus 200. I can't put my money on this fight. I think it's very, very close. If I bet Whittaker, he's probably going to get knocked out. If I bet Cannonier, he's probably going to lose a decision. I just don't think I'm going to win either way. I don't think it's the risk to put any money on this fight, but I see a lot of people betting it, and understandable. UFC 254, co-main event, but that's something I can't put my money on personally. And then Habib Nurmagomedov versus Justin Gaichi. Habib is minus 290, plus 260 on Gaichi. And this is weird. On a lot of books, Habib is like minus 290. minus 300, and a lot of other books he's like minus 360, minus 370. So the line is really all over the place. I do think Habib is a good parlay piece, 28-0. I've never picked against him. I'm not going to here. Not going to get really into the technical breakdown here, but Habib did look, pretty bad on the scales. He is going to be, pretty big in there. I mean, he cuts down a lot of weight, it looks like, and it did look like he had a rough cut, but I don't think it's going to affect him all that much, as a lot of people think. But yeah, people were like, oh, Khabib's going to pull out of the fight. I mean, he's fine. I mean, but Gaichi does hit very hard. I think if he wins, it's going to be early. But I do see Khabib getting him down multiple times. I know Gaichi has that wrestling background everybody talks about. Never seen him use it. I mean, he's been taken down like two or three times. Other than that, he's not really faced a wrestler like Khabib. And you can say the same thing, the other way. Khabib has not faced somebody, with the devastating power of a Justin Gaichi. I mean, he faced Conor, but I do think Gaichi is the hardest hitter he's ever faced. You could argue the best wrestler he's ever faced, even though we haven't really seen that wrestling from Gaichi. But it's going to be a really good fight. Very intrigued. Like I said, I do think Khabib's a parlay piece. If you want to take a shot on Gaichi, plus 430, lots of value there. I don't see Gaichi winning a decision. I'd be very shocked if he did. So plus 430 if you're on the Gaichi side is not a bad look at all. But that's about it, guys. I'm going to be probably posting my bets on Twitter, and I'll also be talking about them on the live stream. I know we have a very early start time, so I don't know when I'm going to do that. Usually I'd post them around Saturday at noon, but that is not possible this week. So look out on Twitter, DFS_numbers. Instagram is DFS by the numbers. If you have any questions, you know where to reach me. Comment below who your guys' favorite bet is. Would love to talk some bets with you guys. If you guys do want to support me more, if you do want extra content, I am on Patreon. Almost 200 members on there. Come join the Discord, talk some fights, talk some bets on Saturday here. I give out my bets as soon as I place them, do a video breakdown on the bets as well. And yeah, that's about it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and let's make some money on Saturday at UFC 254.